Hello everyone, my name is Clantis and welcome to the clan. So without further ado, let's get into this video. But before we get into the video, happy Friday and also happy after Human Rights Day. And thank you guys so much for joining the live yesterday, which was just popped up out of the blue. I appreciate you guys so much and thank you for understanding because I had taken freshens, so I could not have a full live yesterday, but I highly appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate the support. I see the likes, I see the comments, I see everything. It's just that my comment section is problematic once again. Even with the device that I was using, it doesn't seem to be opening comments. I apologize to you guys so very much. But please guys, before we go on, please smash the like button because guys, it helps with the YouTube algorithm to go fetch more honorable members of the clan. And warmly welcome to everybody that is joining this incredible family. I highly appreciate each and every one of you. So let's go to the Gauteng High Court, where Judge Ratha this morning did something that made me wonder. You know, one of the things about me, whenever I'm going to interact with a person, I first want to know what their zodiac sign is. I don't know if I'm the only one who does this, because sometimes you'll be dealing with a human being and then you get frustrated without understanding their true nature. I feel like zodiac signs assist me in understanding some people. And I know there's a zodiac sign that will not, even in their wildest dream, say, I'm sorry. And I think Judge Ratha is one of those. According to research, 4 of these zodiac signs, which is Capricorn, Aries, Aquarius, as well as Scorpio, they will not dare say sorry under any circumstances, whether they are, especially when they are wrong, they will never apologize. But I want to add one more zodiac sign, because in my family I do have a person that who will be wrong but will never say I'm sorry, and that is a Leo. So I'm quite surprised that Leo does not make it in those research across the board. The people that will not apologize are Leos. But anyways, where do I put Mr. Ratha? I think I would put him as a Scorpio, because they are the worst when it comes to an apology. If you're a Scorpion, what's up, Scorpions? I love y'all, but but it's okay, guys. Let's get to this so-called apology. I'm calling it so-called apology because, guys, when I was taught how to apologize, even when I do apologize, being taught the word if, and then if you listen to him, you will hear in the clip that I'm gonna play, you will hear him emphasize this word, if. If I offended anybody, that to me is not an apology. It's either you are apologizing for having offended people, or you do not believe that you offended people and you stand by what you said. But when you say if, because the word if, it is a doubt. From what I understand of the word, it's neither, or it's just in between. I'm not saying I'm sorry, but I'm also saying I'm sorry. That's what basically if means. So that means to me, that is not a full apology. And I want to take issue with the Black Lawyers Association. I find it extremely interesting that this very organization has been watching this very judge abuse Advocate Shololo, and they've said nothing in her defense. But because Ratha touched on number one, a male lawyer, and then the race card, that's when they start making a noise about this judge and wanting to have a meeting with him. I take issue with that, because y'all supposed to have stood up for Advocate Shololo as well when she kept getting crap from this judge. And I still believe that this man has issues with professional women. If you ever sit down with Judge Ratha at some point, please address that. He owes Advocate Shololo an apology for the way he has been treating her, abhorrently. So for me, it's very much like, okay, I get y'all, because at the same time, what Ratha has said, I kind of thought about it on when I heard that the BLA wants to meet with Ratha. I was like, but then he's presiding over an active matter. This is a matter that is sub judice, and if anything arises in this matter, like him being rude and being racial while he is presiding over this matter, I don't think the law allows them to actually sit down and have a conversation with the judge. But that's how I understood independence, and also that's how I also understood the privilege that these judges have in this country. And then you could tell the judge Ratha was like, well, I'm kind of like protected by a privilege by merely being a judge in this country. So if you want to have a meeting with me, fine, cool, I have no problem. But the law says nah, and he's right. He's right. And then that is why I keep feeling that BLA just missed the mark here. And for lawyers not to know that they cannot have a meeting with a presiding judge who is presiding over an active matter, it really did blow my mind. And then I'm glad that he confirmed it this morning, Mr. Ratha. He's like, I don't have a problem in sitting with them, but the law does not allow me to. And I agree with that. I happen to agree with that. Now, let's get into when he says he then had a reflection and thought about his words that he uttered on Wednesday, and indeed his thoughts were ill-advised. His thoughts were not well put together, and as a result of that, if it has offended anybody or organizations and things of that nature, he withdraws. Not I apologize. He withdraws the comment. However, though he does apologize to Judge President Mlambo, to DJP, is it DJP? Also, and Chief Justice Zondo, he apologizes to the judiciary, which is his colleagues, as well as the Judicial Service Commission, which is the body that regulates or governs judges and all that stuff. But he withdraws the comment. That is your apology, people. And it was quite interesting as well when he mentioned the functions of a judge, that a judge must preside without fear, favor. You should see how he ran across the fear, favor. It was very, very fast. Fear, favor, or prejudice in his authority as a judge in court. But I say it again, the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial is an unfair trial on the accused. And this judge is prejudiced against the 5 accused. Whether he is presiding with fear, I don't know. But some people think he is presiding with fear. Some even said he may have been sleeping with the brown envelope. Is it without favor though? Oh my goodness, look at his relationship with Baloyi. Should we go any further than that? That favor. Even this morning, Advocate Mnisi stood up on relevant points that he raised with the judge. But of course the judge, he favors the state. So we will continue. It is a trial by ambush as far as I'm concerned. And Advocate Ngumalo, as well as, I don't know who else stood up and said, the affidavits that were given last year was 1, not 2. But no, let's continue. And then after he has made his apology, then Ratha then read Mr. Ngome Zulu's apology letter. Now that is an apology. Of course, with the permission of Mr. Ngome Zulu, who apologized to the court, apologized to the judge, and even told the judge that he has no harbored issues with him. It's just that he has not been paid. He saw an opportunity to be able to pay the school fees of his children and pay his house bond. And hence, he was absent in court on Wednesday. Understandable to me, because we know that the Legal Aid Board has done Mr. Ngome Zulu dirty. And I think he still needs to pursue this in a civil matter. And also, his legal fees have not been paid yet for the past 5 months. And of course, things will start unraveling in his life with outstanding fees that he needs to pay in his variety of responsibilities as an adult. So the last issue that I would like to take on, which kind of like proves how chaotic this courtroom is, the attendees of the courtroom that Ratha is presiding over, Why are they having their cell phones on? That is so distracting. It's disrespectful to the court's decorum as well. You know, you have a witness on the stand and you hear a cell phone ringing or somebody getting a text. Why can't you put your cell phones on silent or better yet on vibration? Honestly speaking, and why Ratha has never made this order? I don't get it. Seriously, guys who are attending the courtroom, can you switch off your cell phones or you put them on vibration if it's important that you have it on, rather than having them on loud? It's distracting. Anyways, guys, that is all that I wanted to say in this video, but please do listen to the clip so that you can tell me, what did you think of this apology? Is it an apology, or is just a statement that he's making and he's like, well, deal with it? But he does apologize to the fraternity of the judicial system, which is kind of like too late for me, because he has demonstrated some really concerning behavior about the judiciary of this country. I think Mr. Ratha has put the judiciary in disrepute, because now we are thinking this is how judges actually conduct themselves. So there is a witness right now that I'm not quite sure what he's on about. And I agree with Advocate Timnisi. The matter is about the death or the killing of Senzo Meyiwa in Vosloorus. I'm not quite sure why we're dealing with the traffic department and why we're dealing with who passed what learners exam, driver's learner. What is it again? You know, I wrote that test once and I passed it once. The first time I think I got 2 things wrong out of the entire test. I don't know why we're there. Learners, I think it's called. Why are we there? Is it to prove that these accused, they live in the East Rand? Or is it because I've heard as well, many a times people say, if you want to pass your learners and if you want to pass your drivers, you need to go to Boksburg. And everybody's always looking for where they have a chance to pass, whether to pass the learners or to pass the drivers, or both. So I think maybe that's what we're dealing here with, and how it's being used against them, I find it quite interesting. Anyways, guys, here's the clip. We'll see each other later. Goodbye.
On Wednesday, in this court, I made certain comments or utterances arising from the conduct of this trial. And subsequently, because of the news flashes, I came to know that the Black Lawyers Association apparently is saying that it wants to arrange a meeting with me, or to meet me. I don't have a problem with that, but the law precludes me from meeting the black lawyers, because they want to have a meeting with me regarding my presiding in a case which is continuing, and they are not parties to that case. The parties to the case are the 5 gentlemen here, and who are represented by 5 counsels and attorneys, and the state represented by Mr. Sebanda and Mr. Baloi. I'm sure we all know that a judge is supposed to execute his functions without fear, favor, or prejudice, and that he's got to be independent, objective, in the exercise of his authority in court. Consequently, judicial protocol and the law itself does not allow a judge during the presiding of a case which is continuing and is not yet finalized to meet with a body or persons and have a discussion on any matter whatsoever which arises from the conduct of the case. The law does not permit that. Actually, if I did that, the accused before court here, they could bring an application for my recusal because they wouldn't be present in that meeting which the Black Lawyers Association wants to have with me. They could even also apply for the quashing of the proceedings on the basis that they are unconstitutional for me having entertained a discussion with a legal fraternity body. So that is the reason. But me, on reflection, and after some thoughts, I admit that my comments could be interpreted as intemperate, ill-advised, ill-considered, and offensive. And if that is the perception of the accused and their representatives and persons outside, even the public and the BLA, then I want to state that I unreservedly, without any conditions, withdraw the comments which I made in that Wednesday afternoon because of the events that played out here. And also, if I caused any offense to any person or organization, I also unreservedly apologize. And I also apologize also to the judge president of this division, Mr. Mlambo, and the DJP of this division, Mr. Aubrey Letwaba, and if needs be also the Chief Justice, the judiciary, my colleagues, and even the Judicial Service Commission. And as an aside, the irony is the BLA, I, together with the late Godfrey Piche, Dikgang Moseneke, Sien Mushidi, Makambeni from Pretoria, Toli Vilagazi, Tansi, I think we were about 10. We conceptualized in 1977, 50 years ago, when the spirit of black consciousness was pervading the country. We conceptualized and formed the Black Lawyers Association. And I can brag a bit and say, I was in the steering committee. I and Moseneke drafted the constitution. Black Lawyers Association is free to write to the JP and discuss the matter. But as far as I'm concerned, that is the end of the matter. Except that Mr. Zulu has written a letter of apology. Should I read it, sir?
That's correct.
Should I read it?
Yes, please.
Otherwise, I was just going to keep it to myself. Okay, here's the letter. It's dated the 20th March 2024 at 16:21. Good day, Judge Mokgwatleng. The above matter refers Senzo Maiwa murder trial, Pretoria High Court, North Gauteng. I write this email to express my apology for my non-appearance in court. I had discussions with my colleagues last Friday whereby I asked Advocate Munyeki to stand in for me during the testimonies of Ms. Matlaping and the photographer. The request was adhered to by Advocate Munyeki. On Monday, I asked Mr. Ramosipidi to stand in for me, and he agreed in the presence of other counsels. I received instructions on an urgent basis wherein 74 motor vehicles were impounded, repossessed by the company called Bike Automobile SA Pty Ltd. I took this opportunity because I was not receiving fees for the past 5 months and legal aid South Africa declined to pay. I need to close the unpaid school fees for my daughter and my 2 sons and my house bond. Today at 16:15 I called Mr. Baloyi. He did not answer my call, but due to his professionalism he returned my call and we had a discussion. However, before Advocate Baloyi returned my call, I called Ramos Lipidi and sent him a WhatsApp message, but he did not respond. Furthermore, I called Advocate Moshololo, who also did not answer my call but showed professionalism by returning my call at 9:30. I then asked her to speak to Ms. Selepe, whom I conveyed the message for the judge. I attempted to call the secretary, Ms. Rose Selepe, and I left a message. I do not have anything against your leadership since I have known you from Clemson House. I was on the 4th floor with Norman Masanabo, the late. I did not receive the transcript of the main trial and I have not consulted with accused one. I ran a trial within a trial without going through the evidence of the main trial, and I'm proceeding with the main trial only with 636/10/2014 disclosure. That is the case. I have noticed that other counsels are offered assistance if they are engaged somewhere else, but different situation in my case. Kindly find room to accept my apology. I do not have any vendetta against your lordship. Regards, Tulani Ngumezu. Okay.
That's nice.
Thanks. I regard the matter as closed.